Jeff
Nippard.
You have no credibility.
Lying is easy as hell.
Great editing. But are your videos based on science or based on what you and Mike Israetel want to claim to the world?
Jeff has since deleted both comments.
Do you remember that day? Do you remember cursing at my brother? There was no apology to him.
Did Jeff Nippard lie?
Does Jeff consult Hussein?
Wait a minute, get it how you live it.
Jeff Nippard, 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 Jeff Nippard.
I was approached by Jeff Nippard's team for a second time-sensitive consulting project.
And so Solomon was essentially helping Jeff Nippard, not once, but multiple times.
In both instances, I was contracted for my expertise, delivered high-quality work on schedule, and received positive feedback from Jeff Nippard himself.
Solomon at that point was part of the circle, the inner circle. But remember, this is prior to when Solomon started to make videos about Mike. And so Jeff did not like that.
Jeff Nippard made 2 public responses to my critique of Mike Israetel's PhD thesis. And he also reached out via email and Instagram direct messages.
Jeff, he couldn't just let it slide. He couldn't just take the L. I mean, Solomon was critiquing Mike Israetel. He wasn't critiquing Jeff. And so the first opportunity he got to say something negative about Solomon, after all, Mike said, that wasn't my final draft, that was my first draft. Jeff took that opportunity to rub it into Solomon to try and make fun of him.
Jeff then left this comment on a later post by Mike Israetel.
Solomon trying to play off his Reddit-brained, parasocial anti-fan hit piece as a good faith attempt to help fix the way administrators archive their papers. It's pretty funny. That is some aggressive language.
Jeff has since deleted both comments.
And upon further review, upon finding out that it wasn't just a first draft, that it was in fact the proper draft that he looked over, Jeff then deletes his comments as if nothing had happened. No apology, no saying, I'm sorry, I misjudged you, I jumped to conclusions, I was trying to defend my friend. None of that. He simply deletes it and moves on.
Shortly after leaving his semicolons comment, Jeff Nippard contacted me to request the removal of a line in my channel description that he felt implied a current client relationship.
Hey Solomon, long time. Hoping you could remove the line in your channel description implying that I am a current client of yours.
I responded by offering to amend the line to reflect accurately that Jeff is a past client. Jeff declined this offer and asked that his name be removed entirely.
And so Solomon says, yeah, it makes sense. I'll make sure that I show that you're a past client. Jeff says, no, I don't want you to mention me at all. Wonder why he would say that. And so Jeff then lies. This is a single edited program that you worked with me on. We know that it's not. We know it's more than that. And so again, even in private, Jeff can't admit what he's doing.
He also expressed a view that he doesn't align with the content style of my channel.
I agree with your training advice almost universally, but I don't align with a lot of the drama and gossip stuff that you do. Because he does drama, and in Jeff's words, I suppose, anyone that shows the truth about someone, anyone that talks about somebody, unless it's circle jerking them, well, he doesn't like it.
He followed this with a long, unsolicited message detailing his personal grievances with my other industry associates and once again criticizing my recent content.
And so Jeff then writes him in private, email, and says, this is my problem. And this is where my name comes in. To be more clear and transparent, your most public associations since our very brief time working together have been with Greg, who has spent nearly a decade relentlessly bullying my partner and to a lesser extent me online. Jeff, he carries a grudge. Now remember, in the past, I made videos on Stephanie Buttermore. She was that girl who was having 10,000 calorie challenges. Watch what a fit girl eats in a day. 10,000 calorie challenge, of which I made videos saying, I don't like this type of video. I don't think that this is very good for the community. A female who's a bikini competitor showing off, bragging, look at how much food I'm eating, especially when under my own observation, she wasn't actually eating all those calories. She never showed herself eating that. Hey, I'm gonna eat a half a donut and then suddenly the entire box is gone and then go to another restaurant. All the while not gaining a significant amount of weight. And so for me, getting millions of views pretending to eat 10,000 calories, that isn't very ethical. And so for many people out there who perhaps suffer from an ED, trouble with body dysmorphia and so on, I felt that was a very bad message to show to the world. And so I gave my honest opinion as a social media fitness influencer, someone with an exercise physiology degree, someone who had competed 59 times, coached thousands of athletes, that this isn't quality information, that I simply disagreed with it. Jeff didn't like that. Stephanie Buttermore also said, love your body. No matter what, love your body. A great message. She then got lip filler and breast augmentation surgery, of which I pointed out, for someone who loves her body, to say love your body no matter what, it's a little bit hypocritical to then get those surgeries. Now, she has every right to do that. Not saying she cannot do it. She has every right to do with her body whatever she wants. I'm not against that. But is there something wrong with me pointing that out? Just like she can do whatever she wants with her body, I can comment the way that I want about it. And when Jeff confronted me at that gym, I explained it to him in person. I am a reporter. I don't like that she's upset. This is not my intention, but I am a reporter reporting the news. It's newsworthy when she goes on these binges, these thousands of calories, and I think that is not a good message. I'm simply trying to explain that. When I met him at that gym, what you don't know is that prior to talking to me, or shall I say yelling and cursing at me, while I was training with Urs, he met up with my brother, editor Steve. And what you don't know is that for 40 minutes, while I was training with Urs, Jeff continued to yell at my brother, editor Steve. He asked him, "Are you recording this right now? After all, I was in a gym recording a video with Urs." And when Steve says no, he then proceeded to say, "You're a target builder." Started deliberately, on purpose, trying to put my brother down, who's way smarter than Jeff, who knows everything about him, knows the narcissist that he really is, knows everything about that man. You don't know all the things that other people have told me about him, and I'm not going to repeat that because people tell me that in confidence, and I will not break that. As well as the secrets that Jeff has revealed to me in private, I told him I wouldn't share those, and I will not do that to this day. Do you remember that day? Do you remember cursing at my brother? There was no apology to him. And when you walked up to me, Jeff, and you said, "What would you do if I hit you?" I said, "I would love it. It would make for the greatest video of all time. And so imagine doing that." You know this to be true. And so I let you yap and scream and bitch and moan and say what you're saying, because I thought, well, I can't blame the guy. I mean, it's Stephanie, it's his woman, he has to stand up for her. And so I said, hey, I understand where you're coming. And so following that, we didn't talk very much. There wasn't really any problems. I didn't really have a grudge against him. Being a reporter of the news, we all remember what happened to Jeff Nipples. When Mike Van Wyck took it upon himself to throat punch Jeff in the gym, which was clearly wrong. Did I use that opportunity to say, he deserves it? I don't like Jeff. Thank God someone else did it for me. No, absolutely not. That was 100% wrong. And to this day, I will defend Jeff. I give you my honest, open, and transparent opinion, and that was wrong. And so because I had defended Jeff, we kind of had squashed the beef. In private, we would talk back and forth, and we were amicable. I wouldn't say we were best friends, wouldn't say we were friendly, but we certainly were not putting each other down. Until Jeff makes a video with Hussein Farhat, showing that Hussein was natural. Then myself and Hussein, we decided, you know what? No one believes he's natural. We're going to play a fast one. And so me, on my own accord, I decide to write a comment on, I forget his name's wall. He's going to say that I did that on purpose. I don't remember his name. Hussein doesn't know this. And I said, Hussein is going to come out and say he's a fake natty after all. Jeff reads the comment. Jeff then writes myself and says, do I have to redact my video? I put a lot of my reputation on the line for this. I say, no, you don't have to redact the video. I'm having a video coming out, and by the end of the video, 50% of the people are gonna know that he's not a fake natty, and 50% are gonna still think it because, well, they're only gonna watch the start of the video. And so Jeff writes, wait, so did he actually cycle, question mark? If so, I'll need to publicly retract my statements because I've been putting a lot of my own reputation on the line. And so I write, so in the video, but don't tell anyone, in the video, we're gonna come out and say that he took a bunch of stuff. And then I'm gonna say, yeah, it's this polymorphism thing that allowed him to keep all his gains. I would say at the end of the video, 50% of people will be like, this is a joke. And then 50% will say, I knew it. Or they'll watch the first 2 minutes and not watch the full video. So you don't need to retract anything. Let me just leave it at that. You might think that's not clear. That is very clear. Do I need to redact my statements about Hussein that he's natural? No, you do not need to redact it. And so if you watch that video, we start by saying, hey, Hussein's a fake natty. He was on all these drugs. He did it, and polymorphism and so on. It was a joke. End of the video, we said, hey, it was a joke. Jeff then, 25 minutes later, posts Instagram and lies on purpose. This is the proof. Does Jeff consult Hussein? Jeff, who thinks that Solomon should have written Mike Israetel before doing that critique to see if it was in fact the first draft. Hey, aren't you a reporter? Aren't you reporting news? Don't you have to find out the truth first? But yet Jeff then proceeds to make a video, a post on Instagram and says, you know what? They tricked me. Those liars. Jeff didn't speak the truth. Jeff lied on purpose. Jeff knew this. I told other people they were going to report videos. Other people were involved. Unfortunately, those videos weren't made. Perhaps they will right now. And so do you see how Jeff carries grudges? He didn't like the videos that I had done about him and Stephanie in the past. And so now is his time to take revenge. Only again, myself and Hussein are vindicated. What did Jeff do? Well, Hussein wrote him. I hope he does a video about it. Says, Jeff, shouldn't you have checked with me? I'm natural. Greg made that comment without even asking me. Jeff doesn't care, and so he ghosts Hussein. Jeff, this is what I wrote you. It's one thing for you to attack me or say negative things about me. I can handle it. But to backstab Hussein on purpose just because you can't handle the negative comments of people saying you lost credibility, just because you went by the science and said that it's possible for Hussein to be natural, that's a new low. Hussein did nothing to you ever. And so Jeff Nippard is supposed to be a scientist, but he cares more about what people think of him, what people say to him or talk about him, than the truth. The truth being that he believes that Hussein's natural, that the blood work showed that he's natural, but because people hated on him because of the catabolic twig, that he would rather lie and say that we deceived him, that he had actually admitted to being a fake natty, when that was nothing further from the truth. We had made a joke video with me posting a comment. Jeff knows this. You went and made that post knowing full well that it was a joke video, that he wasn't actually admitting to being on steroids, that we were just saying a video because you literally asked me and I said you didn't have to redact anything. I said 50% of the people are going to know it's a joke as soon as they watch a video, and some people are not going to watch the whole video and then make videos about it and think that it's actually admitting to being a fake natty. You even said you were 99% sure that it was a joke because you're not an idiot. And then when I confirmed with you that it was not true, that Hussein did a 16-month cycle, you still make the post. And when Hussein reaches out to you after you know for sure that it was a joke, when I released the video, it's released, and ghosted him and haven't said anything. Again, I don't care if you try to do things to me, but attacking Hussein like that was going way over the line, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You can think what you will about Hussein. I don't care. This is not about Hussein. This is about Jeff Nippard and his credibility as a science-based lifter. He cares more about saying what you want him to think than revealing the truth. If Jeff, for example, thinks that Turk Builder Max doesn't work, if he thinks that it's a scam, even if the evidence proves that it's real. For example, we've proven that this is exactly what it is. Ajuga Turkestanica from Uzbekistan. We have the receipts. We've proven that Turkplex is in fact a scam. It's not Ajuga Turkestanica, that it's cyanosis. Jeff knows this, but he doesn't care. And so when he talks about Turkestrone, notice he only talks about Coach Greg. He doesn't say, hey, you know, Coach Greg's is legit, but other companies like Gorilla Mind, they sell the fake products. He doesn't say that. He says Greg continues to scam people. Why? He doesn't like the videos that I made on him and Stephanie Buttermore. And so rather than being a scientist and reporting facts, he lets his feelings get in the way. And so, Jeff, you have no credibility. You have fancy edits, flashy videos, but are your videos based on science or based on what you and Mike Israetel want to claim to the world? I mean, 50 plus sets, Jeff? 85 reps for 5 reps, 4 sets, which is impossible. But at least it's possible to do 50 plus sets. I mean, why would a woman want to train like a man 10 to 20 sets? Why would she do 10 to 20 sets when Jeff can make her do 50? I mean, after all, she's a woman, she should train different, right? Wrong.
Next time on Coach Greg.
His peremptory intervention was hollow, shallow, without substance, and foolish.
If you don't say the right thing, if you don't jerk the right person, you're not involved in scratching the right backs, well, he doesn't want to have anything to do with you, and he'll throw you to the wolves.
Jeff the scientist had become emotionally involved.
You think I named my company brand to try to get at you?